What's going on, everybody? Happy Tuesday. Welcome to Cocktails in the War Room. I am your host, Mistress Carrie. Welcome to episode 283, and welcome to the War Room. Let me explain what is going on right now for anyone that's new. Back on March 14th of 2020, we started getting together to navigate the crazy world that we're all living in, and so we did it here in a room in my house called the War Room. And a whole bunch of us got together that night, and well, there was nothing else to do. So the next night we did it again, and the next night we did it again. We spent 80 nights in a row together, and then we launched the Mistress Carrie podcast in June of 2020 and turned Cocktails in the War Room into a weekly live streaming video show, which is where you are right now, 283 episodes in. And if you are new to Cocktails in the War Room, first of all, welcome. Second of all, you got to let us know in the comments that you are, in fact, new to the War Room so that the OG War Room family, as they call themselves, can welcome you properly. I want to say what's up to everybody on Facebook, everybody on YouTube, everybody on Twitch, and everybody on Instagram. Last week, I was wondering why the Twitter wasn't working, the live feed wasn't working. There have been massive changes at Twitter or X or whatever we're calling it now, and you have to have a certain paid subscription package to be able to stream, and that was a new development that just happened over like the last week, and I had no idea that had actually happened. That's why Twitter didn't work last week and why it's not working right now, so I am looking for an alternative, but until then, that's why Twitter's not streaming with us right now. If you're new to the War Room, or maybe if you're not, you're wondering why I am distracted all the time here in the War Room, it's because I have a co-host, and she is very needy, and right now she is very soft and fluffy because she got a bath and a manicure today. The shedding has been a little out of control. And so allow me to introduce you to Wednesday. That's where you can find her on Instagram at Wednesday the Goth Pug. And so there are times where Wednesday sleeps in bed with me. I'll preface it by saying that. But when my husband is here, which he has been, Wednesday has a big, giant pug condo, as we call it. And last night, at some point in the night or early this morning, Wednesday didn't feel very well. And so when we woke up this morning, not only was her bed a disaster, but she was a disaster. And so everything that Wednesday owns was sanitized today, and she was bathed thoroughly. She got a manicure and was brushed because of all of the shedding, and so she smells delicious. She is so soft and cuddly, and so this is Wednesday for anybody that's new to the War Room. She hangs out with us in here. She gets her own pug cam. She hangs out with us until the cookies in my pocket are gone, which is what she's looking for right now, and then as soon as they're gone, she leaves us. What's up, Alexis? Kevin is here. Gerald is here on Instagram. What's up, Melissa and Mr. Cole? Bish is here. Brett Feldman joining us. Wednesday, get down. You were very good today in the bathtub. Getting your nails cut, not so much, but you were good in the bathtub today. So at least there was that. Let me see. Did Wednesday blow chunks? You know what? At first, we couldn't tell where they came from. But yes, I think she threw up. We're pretty confident that that's what it was. But it was brutal. We don't know what she got into. She's been spending a lot of time outside because we've been doing a lot of work in the yard and in the garden. And so we don't know if she ate something weird, if she just got into something. We're just really not sure. Lisa's here. Also, True joining us on Instagram. Just a reminder that everybody on Instagram, I only see your Instagram handle, not your actual name like I see on Facebook. So I can only call you whatever your handle is. So I know that's a little awkward. So Brett says, my dog eats grass and hurls. Yeah, I don't know what it is that she got into, but there are a lot of bunnies that are in the yard. I don't know about you guys, but the bunnies this year have been crazy. And something got one of the bunnies over the last few days, and we've been finding bunny remnants around the yard. So I don't know if that's what Wednesday got into. Kind of gnarly, but she's feeling much better now. So thank you. Let's see. Jessica says, poor Wednesday. I hope she feels better. I think she's fine now. She's begging for cookies. I think she's good. What's up, Barbara? Joining us on Facebook. Dawn is here as well. Hello, Christy. So yeah, I think she's better now, but we woke up to a disaster this morning. So before coffee, I was bathing Wednesday in the sink, which I think anybody that wakes up to vomit that's not yours, even yours, if you wake up to your own vomit, but anyone that wakes up to vomit that's not theirs, it's just not how you want to wake up normally. Kind of nasty. So yeah, kind of brutal. Let's see. Woodsy joining us saying, I miss hearing you on AF. Met you in the early 21st century at Ozfest. Keep doing what you're doing. Always love you. Always love what you present, and God bless. Oh, thank you, Woodsy. So hopefully you found me on one of the radio stations that I'm on. Hopefully you're checking out the Mistress Carrie podcast. If you're like, wait, you have radio shows and a podcast? Yeah, I'll tell you all about them coming up in a few minutes. We have a lot to get to tonight. Let's see. No bueno before coffee, says Melissa. Yeah, you have no idea. Waking up to vomit, that ain't mine, brings back too many college days. Yeah, we've all had that happen, actually. I woke up with my foot in a jar of mayonnaise once in my college dorm because I hate mayonnaise so much, and the girls in my dorm wanted to play a joke on me. So they put the little foot in a jar of mayonnaise, and I woke up to that, and I was none too happy. And we still laugh about it to this day because for some reason, I'm still friends with all those bitches, and I don't know why. Christy says, miss you on AF so much. Was the best radio station ever. Totally agree. But it's literally been like 4 years now, which is kind of hard to imagine. And so as much as I miss what was, I'm really excited about what is and what's coming. So I have to kind of allow myself to kind of look forward and be excited about what's going on right now. Ryan says the little foot. Yes, Ryan, if you're new to the show, I have 2 different size feet. And so they put the little foot in the jar of mayonnaise. But yes, I have 2 different size feet. It's weird to me that after all this time, there are still people that don't know that because it has been a joke on the radio for years. Mike Shue calls my little foot the Talon. It's been a family joke for as long as I can remember. And a lot of people, ask me because of all the work that I do with the military and stuff, why I never enlisted or joined. And well, that's one in a very long list of reasons why is because I'm not medically eligible. I have nerve damage. I have 2 different size feet. They were like, yeah, you're good, honey. Just go back to doing what you're doing. John says, love listening to you on The Bone. John on Instagram. Thank you. 1063 The Bone in Portland, Maine. Definitely a harder rock station with a lot more new music. So depending on what you like listening to, I'll run down all of the stations that you can find me at. And you can decide what you like, what level of rock, how classic, how new, how heavy. And there's a station for you because I'm doing all kinds of stuff right now. So Will says, hey, everybody, hope you're all good. Yep, we are all good. At least I am anyway, Will. So Wednesday is good. She is much better now. She has been spending a lot of time in the yard. One of my neighbors' cat got out, and for some reason, all of the cat sightings have been in my yard. So we've also been trying to help wrangle the neighbor's cat. And so between security camera footage, late night Wednesday walks and seeing the cat, later on this afternoon, I was in MCHQ looking out the window and there went the neighbor's cat by. So there's a lot of excitement in the neighborhood lately. And Wednesday, down, can I have your paw? Thank you. Sit, other paw. Can I have a high five? No, real high five. Thank you. Down. There you go. There's been a lot of excitement in the neighborhood when it comes to the animals lately. Jar of mayonnaise, add that to the dictionary, says Bish. For anybody that's new to the War Room, if you're wondering about the dictionary, it's the place that we keep all of our inside jokes and all of the glossary of terms and references from the very beginning of Cocktails in the War Room. So if you're new and you want to get caught up, go to mistresscarrie.com, go to the Cocktails in the War Room tab right on the front page. click the hyperlink that says dictionary, and it'll take you to one of my very first blog posts. And it runs down all of the inside jokes and why we say what we say. And yes, dictionary is spelt the way that I'm saying it. So you have always been a great DJ, and you deserve all the, oh, thanks, True. I appreciate that. Let's see. Slash is 59 today. Jessica, we're going to get to birthdays, but yes, he is 59 today. A lot of artists are actually celebrating birthdays today, though. Jessica wants to know how mom's doing. So let me give you guys a quick update on how my mom is. For anybody that's new to the show, the very fast recap. My mom is, I guess, afflicted by dementia and Alzheimer's. A few weeks ago, she fell and broke her hip. And those weeks were really hard, being in the hospital with her, having the surgery to repair the hip. She had an appointment with the surgeon at the end of last week. So after I saw you guys last, and he's very happy with how everything is healing, how the implant is healing, how her hip is doing, how the incision is. I have a meeting tomorrow with the rest of my mom's care team to go over kind of progressing her physical therapy, weaning her off certain medications, but she's doing okay. Unfortunately, because she has dementia and Alzheimer's, it's kind of hard because a lot of times she just doesn't know what's going on. Here's the tough part. In the physical therapy, getting her up and walking, she has been very nervous to walk. And the working theory is that it's possible that she remembers falling, which is strange because normally when someone has dementia and Alzheimer's, they lose their ability to make new memories first, which is why they regress, which is why they remember things about their childhood and early family memories and old boyfriends and that kind of stuff, whereas they don't remember the people that are right in front of them. And so she's been very, very nervous about walking. And so we're trying to kind of get her over that, that fear of walking on her leg. Obviously there's soreness, but as anybody that's ever had surgery knows, the best thing that you can do is get up and start moving. The atrophying, the fatigue, the stillness, the laying around is just not good for your long-term prognosis. So we're trying to get her up, but she is doing okay so far. So that's kind of where we're at with that one. Thank you guys for all the love, by the way, and every week for asking about mom. As you guys are very well aware, anybody that's navigated this kind of illness with a loved one, you can feel really isolated and kind of in your own little world a lot of the time. And so when people kind of reach into your world and pull you out of it and ask how you're doing and ask how they're doing, it's super helpful. So thank you guys. New glass tonight. We're trying a new seltzer tonight. So a little vodka soda with a cranberry lime seltzer tonight. Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's see. Christy says, so sorry to hear that. I lost my grandmother a couple of months ago to dementia. Christy, then it really, really sucks. Ralph joining us. It says, taking care of my uncle who just got home from a total hip replacement. So Ralph, my mom had a partial hip replacement. She had the ball implant, but not the actual socket replacement. So let's see. Everybody wishing health. Elsa says, I got a job interview this Thursday. Wish me luck. Elsa, good luck. As anybody that has been in the war room a long time, not only do we come here to talk about things that we're having a hard time navigating, but we also use the war room as a place to encourage each other as well and to really celebrate all of the great things that are happening in our lives too. So fingers crossed for you that you're going to get this new job, and good luck on Thursday. Okay, Wednesday, the cookies are gone. The cookie pocket is empty. Nope, it's all gone. All gone. Nope, all gone. All gone. All gone. I'm sorry. You're very soft and you smell like a baby, though. I wash her with baby shampoo and she smells so good right now. Right? And I brushed her and so much hair was coming off of her. It was just ridiculous. All right, we got to talk about a lot. Hey, move over and sit nicely. We got to talk about a lot of stuff on the show tonight. There's a lot going on. We are in the throes of summer, and I'm already seeing like Halloween stuff and back to school stuff in the stores. I can't even go there with you guys. Like I can't even let my brain travel to that place where summer is over yet. But I wanted to make sure that you guys know that this Mistress Carrie deal is good for the entire skydiving season this year. So if you or someone you love that is over 18 that meets the physical requirements that you can see online at jumptown.com has ever wanted to try skydiving, this is the time to do it. You can take advantage of the Mistress Carrie deal and get $40 off a tandem skydive at Jumptown in Orange, Massachusetts, which is the birthplace of recreational skydiving. And it's that the first place in the United States where they were like, hey, the military's got all this extra stuff. What if a bunch of civilians got it and started throwing ourselves out of airplanes? That's where it all started. So if you have ever wanted to try skydiving, go to jumptown.com, read the FAQs, make an appointment for a tandem, use the code Mistress Carrie, and get $40 off your tandem skydive at Jumptown. Okay, we got to talk about some events. Super excited about everything that's coming up. At the end of last week, my husband and I took a motorcycle ride down to Thompson, Connecticut to A La Mode and went and visited the ice cream alchemist who has come up with the Mistress Carrie Black and Blue Boozy Ice Cream formula. And we went down there to check the place out to plan the ice cream launch. We are in the final stages of planning the event. We are working out the logistics, the timeline, and I believe next Tuesday night here in the War Room, I'm going to be able to give you guys all of the details on when it's going to happen, what time it's going to happen, what's going to be happening. But really, really excited about the launch of the ice cream. Mistress Carrie's Black and Blue ice cream is an adult-only ice cream that contains some of my favorite things, as you guys are aware, tequila and limoncello. Plus, it's got a ton of berries in it. It's got some cinnamon in it. It's got some honey in it. Super delicious. And we did a lot of taste testing. I was very, very dedicated in the taste testing of the ice cream. And so I'm pretty confident that the launch is going to be 100% confirmed, and I'll be able to tell you guys all about it next week. We are partnering with Project New Hope in Worcester, and all of the profits from the sale of Mistress Carrie's Black and Blue ice cream are going to be donated to Project New Hope, and that is going to help our veterans and the families of our veterans. And so because of all of the moving parts between Project New Hope and A La Mode and the Ice Cream Alchemist, and of course my crazy schedule, we're just working out all of the logistics. But we went and checked the place out, and it is a perfect place to be outdoors, tons of picnic tables, open area, really, really easy to get to off the highway. Located in Thompson, Connecticut, so really close to Rhode Island, really close to Massachusetts, on a great motorcycle route. And so I think it's going to be a really, really successful day. So next week, we should have all the details. And Backstage Pass members, you will have the details before anybody else. And I will tell you why in a few minutes. But really, really excited to do this. This weekend on Saturday night, I am going to be at the Live Free or Die Tattoo. What is that in my face? Stop that. Stop that. Typo. Sip for typos. Okay. This is happening Saturday night. The Live Free or Die Tattoo Expo is happening all weekend in Manchester, New Hampshire. I am going to be there on Saturday night from 6 to 10 p.m. I am going to be hosting the pinup contest. We're going to be giving away this unbelievable Slipknot VIP prize pack. So, if you are into tattoos, if you're anywhere around the Manch Vegas area, you can meet me at the Live Free or Die Tattoo Expo, 6 to 10 on Saturday night. Go to the events calendar at mistresscarrie.com. I have all of the details, the address, the info, everything you need to know is right up there. For anybody that's new to the War Room and you're trying to figure out where it is that you can find me on the radio, Here's one of the places. Every weekday from 10 to 3, I'm on Charleston's Best Rock, 98 Rock in Charleston, South Carolina. You can go to my98rock.com and listen live, or you can download the 98 Rock app and listen from anywhere. 98 Rock is kind of a mix of newer and more classic rock. So if that's what you're into, you can listen to 98 Rock. If you are looking for Massachusetts-based radio, if you are looking for your rock that's a little more on the classic side, you can listen to me every weekday afternoon on 100 FM The Pike. You can go to pikefm.com and stream the station. You can download the Pike app. Mike Shue does mornings from 6 to 10 in the morning. I'm on every afternoon. And this also includes local Massachusetts stuff, sports stuff, all of that kind of stuff. Over the weekend, Hairfest was great at Indian Ranch. The weather was perfect. So I got to say what's up to everybody that came and hung out with us at Hairfest. The Pike's next big event is at the end of the summer, August 31st at Indian Ranch for Rockfest. Those tickets are on sale now, and you can get the details at mistresscarrie.com on the event calendar. I also wanted to let you guys know to save this date. Backstage pass holders know why. Save this date. Saturday night, September 28th. A big announcement is coming about that date in the coming weeks, and you are going to want to be there. So save the date, write it down, block it off on the calendar. Saturday night, September 28th, with me, 100 FM The Pike. It's going to be a really good time, so block off the date. Block it off. You have plans. You're going to be with me. And if you like your rock a little harder and a little newer, you can listen to me every weekday afternoon on 106.3 The Bone. That is in Portland, Maine. You can go to 1063thebone.com, download the Bone app, stream the station live, listen from everywhere. So there's a bunch of different options. And around the country, I am on dozens of radio stations as part of the Westwood One Radio Network. So depending on where you are, it's pretty easy to find me. Okay, let's talk about the podcast, shall we? Because a new episode's coming out at midnight. I was frozen there for a second. So last week's episode featured Ben Wells. This is him right here from Blackstone Cherry on episode 215. And Ben and I talked a lot about Southern rock and that Southern rock kind of vibe, because I think a lot of those blues-based bands, you know, you look at a band like Rival Sons or the Black Crowes, they have that real kind of blues DNA to them. And so a lot of times they get kind of labeled as like a more Southern rock kind of sounding band. And Ben and I talked a lot about that, having played a ton of shows with Lynyrd Skynyrd. And, but he's like, yeah, when you go and see us, we're definitely not a Southern rock band. Tom wants to know, hey, Carrie, did my t-shirt ever go in the mail? Tom, what are you talking about? Smart ass. Keith says, sit on my bone. I mean, download the bone. Debbie says, awesome. Live Free or Die tattoo. I'll have to try and see you there. That's in my town. Debbie up in Manch Vegas, obviously. Let's see. Alexis says the podcast wasn't great. Okay. Well, if you didn't like that one, hopefully you'll like this week. And if you don't like this week, hopefully you'll like next week. I told you guys when I started the podcast that I wanted to be able to give you guys a little bit of everything, keep you guys in touch with a lot of the legendary classic bands that you know already, and introduce you to more up and coming newer bands that are kind of the next generation in rock. And the guys in Blackstone Cherry have been around for a while, and they're one of those bands that sometimes has a hard time getting on the radio because people don't know what to call them. They don't know if they're a Southern rock band. They don't know if they are a metal band, if they're a hard rock band, if they're a mainstream band. And so for bands like that, bands like I said, like Rival Sons and other bands like that, sometimes the Alexis says, sorry about that. That should have been, that was a great episode. It's all good, Alexis. Don't worry about it. Funny typo though. So the guys in Blackstone Cherry, sometimes people don't know what to label them as, so they have a hard time finding a home. And when you go and see them live, their music is heavy. They're a hard rock band, but they've definitely got those bluesy tones to them. Super nice guys, really, really good live. So if you have not checked them out yet, the next time they're going to be around, please, please, please go and see the guys in Blackstone Cherry. Tom says, haha, it's been like 4 years now. Really, Tom? Let's see. Penny says, MC, where is your party on the 28th? Penny, I can't tell you yet. The fact that September 28th happens to be just a few days before my birthday is purely coincidental, I'm sure. I can't tell you yet. We're working out all the details for the Big Bash. Just block the day off, please, so you guys can be there. Melissa said, I loved this episode. Thank you very much. Call them good, says Lou. That's what I'm talking about, Lou. If it's good, it's good. But unfortunately, I think, especially in radio, when it was, kind of active rock or mainstream rock and alternative, bands had to kind of get labeled so the record company knew what stations to try and get them to play it. And I think now that radio is kind of changing all the time, and with streaming and with bands really experimenting with different sounds and so much crossover between country and rock and hip hop and rock and country and hip hop and country, it's like all over the place. I'm hoping that there's a little bit less rubber stamping of labels when it comes to bands, and that people just say, yeah, they're a rock band and you should go and check them out. So let's see. Jonathan says, I love secrets, sometimes dirty ones. So it was really great getting to know Ben because I had never met these guys before, but the music is really, really good. So if you haven't listened to episode 215 yet, or if you have not listened to Blackstone Cherry yet, this playlist is really good too because we talked about a lot of different artists. I make a playlist for every episode of the podcast. It's linked in the show notes of every episode. So there you go. All right, let's talk about this week's episode. Episode 216 of the Mistress Carrie podcast goes live at midnight tonight, featuring Josh and Alex from Bad Flower. Josh Katz from Bad Flower has already been on the podcast, but Alex is now joining him on this week's episode. They've got a new song called Detroit that's coming out on Friday. They are going to be at the House of Blues in September. We're going to talk about that coming up. And so they wanted to come back on the show to talk about the process of putting the finishing touches on their new album, which they have not announced when it's coming out yet because they're not done working on it yet. But the second single is coming out this Friday. It's called Detroit. The story of why they named the song that's in this week's episode. We also talked about Bad Flower HQ. The guys live on a farm together, which is where they record their music. They kind of have a Bad Flower compound, which I love. And so we talk about the Bad Flower compound. Well, there's a lot of random references in this week's episode. We talk about koala bears and fears of snow, spiders. We talked about that. We talked about propane. This is a very random episode, but these guys are always really fun. They're great live, really, really nice guys. So episode 216 of the Mistress Carrie podcast featuring Josh and Alex from Bad Flower goes live at midnight tonight. Jonathan says, if I didn't work on Saturday, I would love to attend wherever you have it planned. Well, John, if you're not able to make the party at the end of September, I'm hoping you're going to be able to make the ice cream launch, and I'll get you those details as soon as I can. Let's see. Okay. A reminder that if you are listening to the weekly episodes of the podcast, if you subscribe to the podcast, you also get the daily sit rep. The situation report is about 5 minutes long, gets produced really late at night, so you can listen to it early in the morning and know that it's up to date. And it features all your rock news, music headlines, entertainment updates, everything you need to know while you're making your coffee, dropping the kids off at school, commuting, on the treadmill, whatever it is that you're doing. So subscribe to the Mistress Carrie podcast. You get the weekly episodes, the bonus episodes, and of course the sit rep every weekday. And if you're wondering where you can listen to the podcast, it grows all the time. More and more places to listen to the podcast all the time. The audio is also full episodes on YouTube. And if all else fails, you can just go to mistresscarrie.com, hit play on whatever episode you want to listen to. If you are not technologically savvy and you don't understand the kids and all of their technology stuff, you can just go to mistresscarrie.com. I made it easy for you. Holding strong at 149 countries, listening to the Mistress Carrie podcast. Every week I check this. And every week I'm hoping that we're going to get to country 150. And every week I have been disappointed for quite a while. One of these days we are going to hit 150 countries. But until then, 149 countries ain't that bad. All right, birthdays today. Slash is 59 years old. Slash recently canceled 4 dates of his Serpents Festival, his blues tour, because at first he announced it was for unforeseen circumstances. He then took to social media to post that his 25-year-old stepdaughter passed away unexpectedly. Now, what's really tragic, and I don't want to get too much into it because Slash and the family asked people to not kind of speculate on the nature of her passing and to give the family privacy to grieve. But what happened a few hours after it was announced that she had passed, she scheduled, because there's a ton of different software that you can use to schedule social media posts, and her Instagram posted a post from her after she died that she had scheduled to post. Which was really kind of tragic and just really sad. And we talk a lot about the rock and metal community kind of galvanized around the mission of breaking the stigma of mental illness and creating more suicide awareness and a support system and getting the word out about resources. And the rock community, the rock and metal community at large, has been a real kind of flag waver for this, because so many of our artists have been so open and honest and real about their own struggles. And a lot of them have done it on the podcast. Guys like Jacoby Shaddix, Lizzie Hale, Brent Smith from Shinedown. And so when artists talk about struggles, talk about depression, even Jay Weinberg, who is now in Suicidal Tendencies, but was the drummer in Slipknot for 10 years, was asked in an interview this week if he wanted to talk about his departure from the band. And he actually said, not right now, but he said he's working with a great therapist and he's hoping someday to be able to talk about it, but he wants to make sure that he's talking about it from a healthy place. You never would have heard somebody talk like that 10 years ago. And so I just feel so bad for Slash's family, because it's just really, really tragic when you lose someone young. She was only 25 years old. So as far as I know so far, the Boston date at the Leader Bank Pavilion on August 1st is still on track, but Slash canceled a bunch of dates before then, obviously for personal reasons. So if that changes with the Boston date at the Leader Bank Pavilion, I will let you know. But Slash, in the midst of family tragedy, celebrating his 59th birthday today. Alison Krauss, who's been out on the road with Robert Plant for years now, winning countless Grammys, she's celebrating her birthday today, and so is Nick Menza. So if today's your birthday, happy birthday. Happy unbirthday to you, Keith. Happy birthday to everybody else that's celebrating today. Okay, so let's talk about some headlines and some things that are going on. Metallica has been on the M72 World Tour for the last 2 years. The no repeat weekends mean a show on Friday night and a show on Sunday night in every city that they go to. 2 different sets of openers, 2 completely different sets from Metallica. And when they announced this tour, it was like, whoa, this is a massive undertaking for the band. And the shows have been amazing. So here's the dates for New England, the only New England stop. Pantera and Mammoth WVH, Friday night, August 2nd. Five Finger Death Punch and Ice Nine Kills, Sunday night, August 4th. Now, the other thing that Metallica's been doing is what they're calling Metallica Takeovers, which are a bunch of events around the 2 Metallica shows. Now, the pop-up shop for Metallica opens on Thursday, August 1st at Foxborough at Patriot Place. So if you want to go and get Metallica gear and check out the Metallica pop-up shop, even if you don't have tickets to the shows, you'll be able to do that because the pop-up shop opens up the day before the first show. Some of the other things that they're doing, there is a Metallica Film Festival. There is also the guys in Metallica's Sons are in their own bands. They have got gigs booked as well. And they are also doing tastings for their blackened American whiskey. And so if you go to Metallica.com, they have got a whole page dedicated to the date in Foxborough. But I wanted to call your attention to all of this stuff because if you don't have Metallica tickets, but you still kind of want to do Metallica stuff, there are a lot of other events that you can do. You can go and get the merch before the shows. But I wanted to make sure you guys knew about all of the events that are happening during the Metallica takeover. And all of this stuff can be found at Metallica.com. So there you go. I have a feeling there's more events that are going to be announced around the Metallica dates as well in the next week or so. Shows coming to the TD Garden, Incubus, the Morning View Tour, August 31st. Weezer celebrating the 30th anniversary of their debut Blue album. That's going to be at the Garden on September 10th with the Flaming Lips and Dinosaur Jr. Jelly Roll, who right now has the #1 rock song in the country with Falling in Reverse, who's releasing a Bob Denver cover with Machine Gun Kelly this Friday and is out on a sold-out arena tour this fall. Jelly Roll's killing it. He's going to be at the Garden on September 26th, 21 Pilots September 20th, and Jeff Lynne's ELO September 23rd. The Black Keys canceled their arena tour, so if you had tickets for that, make sure you get your refund. And then Aerosmith and the Black Crowes at the Garden coming up on New Year's Eve. Happy birthday, Donna. Everybody making sure that I know it's Donna's birthday. Happy birthday. The DCU Center is hosting the Silver Scream Con September 13th through the 15th. And I believe that is going to be in the convention center area, but there's also going to be concerts as well. And then Iron Maiden is going to be at the DCU Center coming up on November 6th. Those tickets are already on sale. Big Night Live in Boston by the TD Garden has got The Warning on September 13th. Cold Chamber on the 17th of September. I wonder what else is going on that day on October 1st. Dirty Honey are going to be at Big Night Live. Birthday. Excuse me, I had something in my throat. Asking Alexandria is going to be there October 8th. Palais Royale on the 11th of October. And The Marvelous 3 and Lit on November 10th. By the way, all of these shows are up on the event and concert calendar at mistresscarrie.com. Coming up at the end of the month, Limp Bizkit and Welcome to Loserville are going to be at the Xfinity Center. All of these shows are going to be at the Xfinity Center all this summer and through the fall. So there are also a lot of sales happening when it comes to tickets. So keep your eyes on your Live Nation and Ticketmaster accounts because sometimes they'll do these last minute $20 ticket sales and stuff. So you want to keep your eyes out for that. Coming up August 2nd, Greta Van Fleet at Mohegan Sun Arena. Godsmack and Nothing More are going to be at the Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion this Thursday, at the Main Savings Amphitheater this Friday, and then at Mohegan Sun at the end of October. Seven Dust at Hampton Beach Casino Ballroom, 2 shows, September 13th and 14th. And the Baloo, Vi, Levin, and Carrie tour, Beat, is going to be at the Schubert. They're going to be at a bunch of different places playing the music of King Crimson. Accept has got a bunch of dates booked in September to celebrate their 50th anniversary. That includes the Wilbur, the Tupelo Music Hall, the Ridgefield Playhouse, and the Strand. And Duran Duran getting everybody ready for Halloween. They are going to be at the Mohegan Sun Arena October 25th. They're going to be at Madison Square Garden on Halloween, and then the SNHU Arena in Manchester on November 2nd. Eric says, look at you, Carrie, doing a little Taylor Swift and dripping Easter eggs. I'm not as subtle as Taylor Swift. She can keep secrets for years. I'm lucky if I can keep a secret from you guys for weeks. You guys know how I am. I'm terrible at it. We were just talking about Slash's show at the Leader Bank Pavilion. As far as I know right now, this show is still a go. 311's Unity Tour with AWOL Nation and Neon Trees is going to be at the Leader Bank Pavilion on August 7th. By the way, if you want to win tickets to the show at the Bank of New Hampshire Pavilion, you can go to 1063thebone.com right now and enter to win those tickets for that tour up there. Bush, the Loaded Greatest Hits Tour. This is completely sold out at the Leader Bank Pavilion with Jerry Cantrell and Candlebox. By the way, Vilified, the new Jerry Cantrell single, comes out this Thursday. The Smashing Pumpkins announced a surprise album that's coming out on August 2nd. We're getting that new Jelly Roll song on Friday. Dorothy just released a new song called Mud. We are getting new Bad Flower music, Detroit, on Friday. This is a big, big time for music right now. Falling in Reverse has got their new album coming out on Friday. We'll talk about the new releases in a minute. But they're going to be with Dance Gavin Dance, Black Veil Brides, and Tech Nine at the Leader Bank Pavilion on September 9th. And Jane's Addiction has got a new song coming out tomorrow. They are going to be at the Leader Bank Pavilion on September 13th. I told you, this is all of the music, and these are all of the shows that we were waiting for through the pandemic. The bands are just inspired to write music, dying to get out on the road. So this is what we were waiting for. We asked for it, and now we're getting it. Blink-182 is at Fenway Park tonight. Travis Barker hinting that part 2 of their reunion album with Tom DeLonge, One More Time, is going to come out. I guess they wrote so much music when they got back in the studio with Tom DeLonge that they had enough for 2 albums, and it sounds like One More Time Part 2 is going to come out. Def Leppard and Journey are with the Steve Miller Band instead of Heart. They're going to be at Fenway August 5th. Green Day, the Smashing Pumpkins, Rancid, and the Linda Lindas at Fenway August 7th. And Pearl Jam's dates are September 15th and the 17th. And I believe the only show that still has tickets available is Def Leppard and Journey, and there's not many left. But I'm pretty sure Green Day and Pearl Jam are sold out. Shows at the Palladium coming up this weekend. Flat Black is going to be at the Palladium. That's Jason Hook's band, formerly of Five Finger Death Punch. Set It Off, New Year's Day, From Ashes to New. They are going to be there on October 27th. The NoFX finale tour, August 31st and September 1st at Campanelli Stadium in Brockton. And the New England Metal and Hardcore Festival is going to be at the Palladium in Worcester on September 22nd. Let's see. Good night, Trina. Sorry, I'm trying to catch up with all of your messages. Michelle says, keep sending her prayers. Erin is her name, and she was very happy to hear that we are all praying for her. That is wonderful that you guys are sending so much love there. All right. Roadrunner in Boston on Guest Street in the Old Hood. Newfound Glory coming up August 21st, or 23rd, I should say. Kaleo is going to be there on September 11th. The Hives on the 25th. Skillet and Seether, those tickets are on sale now. By the way, that show also features Royal Lynn and Tim Montana, 2 artists that you probably heard about first on the Mistress Carrie podcast. The Red Clay Strays are going to be there October 5th. Dayseeker is going to be there October 11th, and Rise Against is going to be there on October 24th. The MGM Music Hall at Fenway has got Cheap Trick coming up August 3rd, Taking Back Sunday, Widespread Panic, Kings of Leon, The Sisters of Mercy, Sting, and Queens of the Stone Age. I don't know why that second Sting keeps popping up, but yes. Social sip. House of Blues has got the Struts on the way on August 4th. Bad Flower, my guest this week on episode 216 of the Mistress Carrie podcast, will be there on September 15th. Rival Sons and Clutch, September 17th. Airborne Toxic Event, September 19th. Blues Traveler on the 24th. Hatebreed with Carcass, Harm's Way, and Crypta on the 27th. Testament, October 6th. Theory of a Dead Man, The Unplugged Tour on November 12th. And Steel Panther on their 15th anniversary tour on November 23rd. Yes, you heard me right. The 15th anniversary of Steel Panther, which is just crazy. Crown the Empire is going to be at the Paradise Rock Club August 18th. The Lemonhead, September 12th and 13th. Duff McKagan, he's got to do something while Slash is out doing his thing, because next year is all about Guns N' Roses. So Duff's going on a solo tour. He'll be at the Paradise on November 4th and Guar on November 5th. Brett Feldman says 20 Guest Street, bud. Exactly. Well, Roadrunner's a little bit further down. I think it's like 40 Guest Street or something. John says, keep up the amazing interviews. I told you guys that I wanted to be able to tune you guys into new artists. And we've had a pretty good track record of introducing you to these artists that end up kind of all over the place. Tim Montana, not only is he touring with the guys in Skillet and Seether, but he's coming back in the new year with Miles Kennedy at the Brighton Music Hall. So Tim Montana is turning into like the Mistress Carrie house artist all of a sudden. City Winery, August 7th, has got Robbie Krieger from The Doors. John Cafferty and the Beaver Brown Band are going to be there August 17th. John 5, 2 shows on September 9th, an early and a late show. And Richie Kotzen's going to be there on October 15th. Keith is being very fresh, says Tracy. Keith? Do we have to put you in timeout, Keith? Put your pants on and behave. Bish says, hey, kid, 40 Guest Street. Okay, we have got new releases coming out this Friday. There's a bunch of new stuff that's coming out. Bad Brains are coming out with their reissue on Friday. The Beastie Boys Ill Communication 30th Anniversary Edition. Blur live at Wembley Stadium. Falling in Reverse, Popular Monster, the first new album from Falling in Reverse in 7 years. And all of the songs, Zombified, like those songs are all going to be on there. The song with Jelly Roll as well. But the full new album from Falling in Reverse comes out on Friday. The soundtrack to the new Ghost movie, Right Here, Right Now, the original motion picture soundtrack, comes out on Friday. Mr. Big's new album, 10. Pete Townsend, live in concert, 85 to 2001, comes out on Friday. The Police, Synchronicity, the 40th anniversary box set, and Talking Heads, Stop Making Sense, the deluxe edition reissue are all coming out this Friday. Mail call, nothing came in the mail this week, which is totally fine. But nothing came in the mail this week. So sorry, Wednesday. No mail call for Wednesday. That's the address if you need it. I was told to expect some things in the mail from some of the previous artists that we've had on the podcast, but I went to the post office today, like hoping that there was going to be cool stuff in there, and there just wasn't. Sun's out, guns out. The tank tops are selling really, really well, and some of the sizes are already sold out. So if you're looking for the Mistress Carrie tank tops, you are running out of time. I am going to have some merch available at the Live Free or Die Tattoo Expo up in Manchester on Saturday night if you want to come and grab your stuff. If you don't have a Mistress Carrie backstage pass yet, really easy to get. Go to patreon.com/Mistress Carrie or just click the Patreon logo at mistresscarrie.com. Backstage pass holders, we do an exclusive monthly live stream. And, Carrie. The live stream is July 28th. Yeah, not September. It's July, Carrie, which means this Sunday. So Backstage Pass holders, this Sunday night, July 28th at 8 p.m., we're going to do our live stream. I'll be able to fill you guys in on some of the plans, on some of the stuff I've been hinting at, fill you guys in on everything that's going on, who's going to be coming up on the podcast, all of that. You can also submit podcast interview questions because you know who's going to be on the podcast most of the time before anybody else. You get travel blog updates. I am going to be going on a trip later this year that I will tell you guys about this weekend. You get early access to event tickets, and you also get exclusive concert ticket giveaways. Recently, you had access to the Hailstorm I Prevail tickets. You still have tickets available for Slipknot August 15th at the Xfinity Center and Cage the Elephant tickets at the Xfinity Center on August 22nd. And I will fill you guys in more on some of the other shows that are coming up in our live stream on Sunday night. You also get merch discount codes when we launch new merch items. So I will see you guys if you have a Backstage Pass Sunday night at 8 o'clock. And as always, I'll send you the link. You'll know how to do it. If you don't have a Backstage Pass yet, you want to get in on the live stream on Sunday night, go to patreon.com/Mistress Carrie and get your Backstage Pass, or just click the Patreon logo at mistresscarrie.com. All the places you can find me, all of the radio station apps you can download, everything from Twitter and Threads to Instagram and Facebook, TikTok, Cameo, YouTube, Patreon, Twitch. It's all linked at mistresscarrie.com. It's all right there. Super easy to find. I also want to remind you guys, because I get more and more feedback about this group all the time. Yes, I know that people are nefarious in their intentions sometimes, posting up on the Veterans Rock group, but I'm doing my best to moderate everything and to keep the content in this exclusive group on Facebook to be just veteran related. I'm talking about veteran-owned businesses, organizations that support veterans, volunteer opportunities for civilians to be able to help with these veteran organizations, and also to be able to connect veterans to resources, and for civilians to lend support, to be able to ask questions, and to be able to advocate for maybe a veteran in their life because they don't know where to go. And so there's a ton of veterans in this group and a ton of veteran supporters in this group, and it's growing all the time. So please, if you are a veteran or you have a veteran in your life, please make sure you share this group with them. There are a ton of events that are getting posted, a lot of resources, great nonprofits, veteran-owned businesses. It is very heartwarming. Sometimes when I'm having a hard day, I'll go in this group to see the positivity and the amazing stuff that people are doing, and how people are helping. And it makes me feel great. So you guys are amazing. You are doing unbelievable stuff. And I love the fact that this group is turning into something so awesome that so many people are using as a resource. It really makes me happy. All right, guys. Well, I think that's it. Episode 216 of the podcast comes out at midnight tonight, featuring Josh and Alex from Bad Flower, who are going to be at the House of Blues coming up in September. And then don't forget, coming up this weekend, I think this is it right here. Yep. And coming up on Saturday night, I will see you in Manchester, New Hampshire at the Live Free or Die Tattoo Expo from 6 to 10. You could get raffle tickets. They're going to be selling raffle tickets to benefit the animal shelters up there. So we're doing it for charity. Slipknot VIP experience to see them at the Xfinity Center. There's going to be a pinup contest. Some of the best tattoo artists around New England. So this is happening all weekend, but I will be there on Saturday from 6 to 10. So, the drink recipe. You know what? We haven't done the drink recipe in a while. Why haven't we? Did I skip over that? Why did I do that? Well, I didn't have a recipe ready because I'm a slack ass. So I'm going to flip pages and stick my finger in it. We're winging the drink recipe tonight. Are we ready? This is the finger I'm sticking in it. Shut up. My finger stuck on the Cape Codder. Like any of us don't know how to make a freaking Cape Codder. Really? I will read the recipe anyway, just in case. 1.5 ounces of vodka. Really? No shit. 3 ounces of cranberry juice. Really? No shit. And a wedge of lime. Shocking. I can't believe that's the drink recipe that I pointed to randomly. Just in case you need instructions, if you are watching Cocktails in the War Room from outside of New England, first of all, a vodka cranberry, as most people call it around here, because we don't need to call it a Cape Codder because the Cape is right there. Pour the vodka and the cranberry juice into a highball glass over ice, stir well, add the lime, serve. A Cape Codder. They're delicious, but I don't think anybody needs to know how to make those here. Wednesday, do you want to come and say goodnight to everyone? You came in just in time to say goodnight to everyone. You want to show everybody how fluffy and shiny you are? Say goodnight, everybody. Ready? You got a manicure and a bath today, and you got brushed, and you're so shiny, and you smell like a baby. Oh, you're so good. All right, guys. Yeah, you guys are all laughing at the Cape Codder. Don't lick anything weird. Exactly. All right, I will see you guys next Tuesday night with details on the ice cream launch, backstage pass holders. I will see you guys on Sunday night. I'll give you guys all of the details on that, and hopefully we'll have all the details settled on what's going on at the end of September as well. I'll be able to fill you guys in on that. Looks like you need more blueberry cobbler moonshine. Melissa, I'm not saying I don't need that. You can send that anytime you want. All right. Good night, guys. I will see you guys next week. Don't forget, episode 216 of the podcast goes live at midnight.